but I believe the legacy and the ancestry of Black Americans is being insulted every single day. I will not pretend to be a victim in this country, and I know that that makes many people on the left uncomfortable.
Yes. And Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee were extremely uncomfortable as Candace Owens just slashed at the narratives of the people like Nadler and Ted Lieu. In fact, when C-SPAN tweeted out the video of the confrontation with Lieu, it racked up 4.47 million views in less than 24 hours. It's a Twitter record for that network. Joining me now in her first interview since the explosive hearing is Candace Owens herself. She's the comms director for Turning Point USA, and Leo Terrell, civil rights attorney. We have both sides represented here tonight. Candace, why do you think that your moment, and I watched it from beginning to end, has drawn such attention, and what has been the reaction to you personally since?
Now, before she answers that, I just want to say that I actually reacted to just a portion of that conversation with that gentleman that they had on the screen. And I believe he read off probably like a small portion of something that she might have said. And she was talking about like a nationalist, not a nationalist. She was talking about someone from another country who was like a dictator or something, who used to murder people and all these things. And they try to make it seem like she applauded their efforts, and she had no issues against what those people were doing. And she got pissed off. And one lady that was there too said that it's hilarious. She think that it's very disrespectful to other races and whatnot, that Candace Owens said that something like it was hilarious that they brought that up or something, completely taking her out of context. And again, for the record, Candace Owens is not a household name in the Black cookout. All right. So when I tell y'all that, I'm not telling y'all that to BS. I do have people in my emails that shows me a lot of love for taking the path I'm taking, just to try to understand a side that I haven't understood. I haven't tried to understand before. But to keep it a buck, I haven't even tried to understand the Democrats, because politics was always something that I tried to stay away from. But I do know this: Candace Owens' name is one of those names that if attached to me, I will probably lose access to the Black cookout. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because maybe because she's connected to Fox News, or maybe because she's a Republican, or maybe because she voted for Trump, or maybe because she's so vocal about certain issues that go on in the Black community, and I guess it's the way she's vocal about those issues. So without further ado, we're about to go ahead and finish checking this out. But if you like this type of content, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell, so that next time we do post some content, you'll be first to be notified.
Well, I think it drew attention for a lot of reasons. I think in many ways people on the right felt vindicated. And I know that there were a lot of moderate people that came over and realized that what I was talking about were actually real issues in Black America. I touched upon the illiteracy rates. 75% of Black boys in California not being able to read is a problem in Black America. White nationalism, when Black on Black crime, 90.1% of all homicides against Black Americans are performed by other Black Americans. The entire hearing, in my opinion, was a hoax. The continued hoax on Black America, which comes to us from Democrats who want us ultimately to fail by focusing on something that is not harming us when you look at all of the other issues that we are facing.
Now, Leo, you watched, I'm sure, at least part of what Candace said yesterday. Your reaction?
She is such a smart young lady, but I can see why some people don't want to take what she's saying at face value. I can see why. Like, the numbers, they mean a lot to only some people. To people who are actually in it and of those environments that she's speaking on, they can care less about them numbers. They can care less. They see it every single day, what's going on in their environments, in their communities. and they just hate to be reminded of it because it's like a constant attempt to clean up their own blocks and households, but it's slow. It's a lot of failures. Crime is not slowing down, and that hurts. It might not seem like it hurts people who are still living in those communities, but it really do. And then to have someone who look like them tell them that the reason why it's happening is because of you, that hurts too. It might very well be true, but people want to be able to blame somebody. That's why when you remove the racism card and we can't play that anymore, it's like, what else do we say? Because now the only thing we can do is be accountable for our own sugar honey iced tea. And that's not something that we're willing to do. Why? Because we're all struggling. We don't have the finances to do it ourselves. We don't have based off of what we see on the news, the people who can help us, who are the police, they don't like us, or they're afraid of us, and they're so afraid of us, and they don't like us so much that they're shooting all of us, knowing good and well that that's not happening all the time. But that's what the news says. And if you're not very informed and you're not going into the books and trying to figure out those numbers yourself, then you're going to believe what the media pushes in front of you. So that's why, again, Candace Owens' name is like, bruh, really?
Oh, well, I just see right now Candace Owens is getting 15 minutes of fame, and just give me 30 seconds to prove my point. She just, again, assumed that all Democrats are hoping that black people fail. On her interview with C-SPAN, she says that the word nationalism has been compromised or poisoned by elitists. Tell that to the people in Charlottesville. She then tried to put herself in the same category of Donald Trump, talking about the false narrative. But the part that was so insulting, when she's promoting her employer and said that she went to Jerusalem and not a single Democrat went there. Ms. Owens, let me tell you, 72% of Jewish Americans voted for Democrats. So you did a great job of promoting yourself and playing the victim. And by the way, it's not just black people who were not stupid by what you said. Americans were not stupid, because I listened to everything you just said. And I hope you can challenge what I said about the number of blacks, number of Jews who support Democrats. But you did a good job of marketing yourself today, putting yourself in the same boat as the president. Good job, Candace.
Whoever main man is, he's serious. What is his name? Is it Ingram? Is that his name? Because I see that in the hashtag, but not in the title. My man's serious. He's challenging Candace Owens. Here's the thing that people don't get. And I'm going to shut my mouth up and I'm going to let y'all watch the rest of this, because I want to hear what she has to say too. But although I slow walk into checking out Candace Owens and seeing her point of view, her perspective, all those things, she reminds me so much of my daughter, who is 24 years old, who has the same confidence that this young lady has. And she only has this confidence in this. She's only so sure of herself because she's well studied. You can look in her eyes right now. She cannot wait to answer this gentleman. In the way she answers him, whether I agree with it or not, she is fierce with it. All right, so let's go and get into it. You'll see.
All right. So the personal attack, I just want to, for the record, I just want to say the personal attacks continue. That, Leah, you're attacking her character. She's mentioning issues. You're attacking her character and what she said. You're not attacking that.
You're not a leader, in my opinion.
Let her speak now. Don't talk over the
let me speak. Let me speak. That wasn't ad hominem attack, and it's childish, and I'm not going to play these playground tactics with you. I'm going to keep the focus on Black America and the things that are actually impacting us. This is an adult conversation that needs to be had. Okay, the shootings in Chicago. It was Laura Ingraham who hosted and had a real conversation with people that were living in that neighborhood about things that are affecting them. And ultimately, this is why the Blexit movement grows. This is why blacks are exiting the Democrat Party, because ad hominem attacks are not making people feel better about themselves. Ad hominem attacks are not going to impact our financial situation in Black America. It's unfortunate because you consider yourself a civil rights leader. You're just attacking me. You're just attacking me. You haven't actually offered anything that's constructive for Black America.
All right, Leo,
does anyone, Laura, does anyone watching your program honestly believe what she just said? I'll give you a straight. She said Democratic
Another
Party
ad hominem
want black
attack.
people to fail. See, those are talking points, Ms. Owens, because you know deep down inside, just because you disagree with the Democrats, you cannot assume that Democrats want black people to fail. That's what you just said on national TV.
I did, and I believe that, and I will back that up with facts.
Well, okay,
I will back it up with facts. I will back it up with
Laura,
facts.
you know that's not true.
I want to play something
Laura, you know that's
that
not
was
true.
said today. I want to.
Wow. I love the back and forth that they have. This is phenomenal, especially for me as a student of politics all of a sudden. Now I'm trying to freaking learn everything. But this is what I need to hear. This is definitely what I need to hear. And I need to, here's the thing. I cannot react to this with a clear conscience without believing, without knowing in the back of my mind that I'm going to have to defend myself after just listening to what they have to say. I'm not even giving too much of my own thoughts on this. I'm just listening so I can learn. But because it says Fox News and because Candace Owens is on this bad boy, I'm gonna have to face some backlash because of this. This is crazy, and I just want to see why she believes, why they believe what this title says, that Democrats want black people to fail.
I will back it up with facts.
I think a lot of Democrat leaders are freaking out and tried to kill her yesterday at that hearing.
They're afraid.
Because they don't want what she is saying to take hold in other parts of the black community. Leo, I honestly believe that. I know Candace. And what was said about her implied by Ted Lieu was disgusting. I do, and that's why I want to have a conversation about these underlying issues. That's why we went to Chicago to do that forum. That's why we want to hear from the neighbors that are hurting in Englewood, in the Englewood neighborhood. They're hurting. They're really hurting, and they're not hurting mostly because of white nationalism. That's always going to be a problem, but that's not really why they're hurting.
Here's my request. Here's my request, Laura. I would like to go to Chicago with you and debate Ms. Owens on that issue. I would love to go.
Why do we need to debate? Why
She's calling you out.
Why do you want to debate?
Because
why don't you want to go to hear about other people? You want to debate. That's like why do you want to hear from the people that are
the most diverse party? The most diverse party in the Democratic Party
whatsoever.
Hold on.
Let me speak. I have not said.
Hold on.
Let me speak. I have not said a single thing attacking your character because I don't need to. I am confident in my ideas. I am confident in the fact that Black America is waking up and realizing that we have been missing out. I am confident that the biggest issue facing our community is father absence, which further deconstructs everything that is happening. Stop cutting me off. I didn't cut you off. Okay. I have not attacked you once. I have not attacked. I have attacked Democratic policies.
Member of this country.
Democrat policies are hurting Black
She has
America.
attacked every Democrat. Every Democrat. She has basically said that every Democrat, the most diverse party of minorities, of people of color, she has just said on national TV over and over again that the Democrats want black people to fail. Ms. Owens, that's not the person. Those are your words. That's not true.
That is correct.
That is not true.
Leo, I would.
Man, they are fired up. Woo, they are fired up. Sheesh. Well, you know what? The gentleman did say that, Candace Owens, you said that Democrats want black people to fail. And she absolutely did say that. Candace Owens did say that based off of the information that she has, she knows that black people are starting to wake up and realize that they've been getting the short end of the stick from the Democratic Party. That I can actually agree with, because here's one thing that I like to do, and this is the most ignorant thing ever, and I hate to admit this. I like to start debates with people just so I can learn, and that's lacking any information. So I will make you think that I know what I'm saying, and I will probably, keep on throwing salt in the wound so that you can give me more information just so I can learn. But by me doing that, I've done this on Facebook before, especially when President Barack Obama was in office. And turns out a lot of black people were very upset, black people that I know. And it's because they wanted certain things done and it wasn't being done. And they were starting to pay more attention to what was going on in the White House and Congress and Senate especially when there was always these moments where there was a potential shutdown of the federal government. And most of the people that I know just so happen to work for the federal government, as myself, as my wife. Well, I no longer work for them anymore. But everybody started to have these conversations on Facebook. And being that I didn't want to feel left out, and I'm usually the party starter, I just ask a question and I just back up and let people go. I noticed that a lot of people was having issues with what the Democrats were doing for the Black community, and what President Obama was doing, or lack thereof, for the Black community as well. So what she's saying is not foreign. It's simply, it's like if you got issues going on in your house with your family, you don't want them issues to get outside. You want to take care of it in-house. And as soon as you hear other people saying it, you're like, please just be quiet. You don't have our best interests at heart. We're family here. We got this. We don't need to call the police, although somebody just now got their tails beat inside the house. You call the police on me, that's the most disrespectful thing ever. Loyalty has been broken. Even if I just whipped your tail in the house, punched you in the face, and you decide to defend yourself by calling 911, that's something that you don't do in certain communities, i.e. the community I'm from. All right. But what she's saying is, I don't know. It's worth looking into. I'm just going to say that. It's worth looking into.
That's a fact, not an attack.
I would actually take what Leo said with a greater sense of, belief and credibility. Had Leo, you said something similar every time a Nita Lowey or a Elijah Cummings just imparts the worst motives on people who disagree with them on policy. And it happens far too often. So the worst motives ever come on the other side. Are you a white person? Then you have too much white privilege. Then you need to sit down and let someone else's truth be heard. I think, Leo, you got your truth out. You got your truth out. Candace got her truth out. And I think we do want to have problem solving done on both sides. We want problem solving on this show. And that means we have different points of view heard. And Leo, you can come to Chicago. Candace, we actually could roll up our sleeves and get something done, I think, if the three of us actually wanted to do that. So, guys, thank you so much. Candace, great to have you on. Leo, great to have you on.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all did too. Let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Let's continue to have conversations. All right? Love y'all.